What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to week 2 of a road to 100K in payouts. And this week we're going to be covering getting our payout from last week and continuing on in this week. I'm also going to be covering some Discord members as well that have been absolutely fucking banking. And it's with the free teachings from this. Obviously, some Discord members are paid. It's like a mentorship. Some people want more work, so that is what it is on its own side. I know you guys are here for the trading, so let's go ahead and get into our accounts, get into our payouts, and get into what we took this week as well. Alrighty guys, so like always, we are in the emails. Obviously, we're gonna refresh so you guys know it's the real deal. But here we have our list of payouts, right? We got our first one, into our second one, third one, and our fourth one we got for last week. I also started this challenge on TikTok like a week or two prior to me doing it on YouTube, and I already have like 3K from that. So we're going to be adding in everything. I'm going to be showing you guys how much I spent on evals, how much I spent on activation fees, and everything above. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, after roughly how much we spent shows up, we see it's around 700 on Apex evals, almost 1400 on Top Step evals, and then roughly 750 for like 5 activations. So roughly a total of 2800, and it's not a crazy amount. It obviously could be way worse. Could have blown a lot more evals. We could have even blown the expresses after we activate them. Luckily, we were able to only activate once, so we were able to get activated and paid out from there. With the Apex accounts, I'm not really, I don't really care to say that I blew them. Like, yeah, it's okay. We activated these as well. Actually, I forgot to add the activation fees into here, so let's do that real quick. Sorry about that. So now we have our real total with 3,500 instead of 2,800, and this could look bad if you started out the year with no payouts, or you're in a downtrodden hole, or if you're continuing to go lower. Obviously, if we're buying multiple accounts at a time, it builds up a lot quicker than buying one account at a time. So let's cover how much we have in payouts now, and then how much profit we're looking at just for the month of January. I'm not going to be a nerd and pull December's in or November's in as well, right? I try and do it by month, and obviously this series just started, so I want to show you guys kind of the whole process and how I start off. If I blow an account, what's the process of getting more, how much do I spend on them, and then how much profit is made as well. For some reason in this field, like, people are scared to almost admit that they spend money on accounts, and it's like, that's what happens. That's what you're gonna have to do. I would say my biggest thing is like just being on the eval, knowing you can't make money on the eval, so I want to really just pass them in 1 or 2 days. Like if I, for any instance that I've tried to trade an eval right, obviously it just takes a little bit more time, and there's a way, higher percent chance of passing. So there's that kind of threshold that I try and find so I can be able to pass the accounts quickly. But, if you're full porting or trying to, over leverage on the accounts, pass them quickly, in reality, for a lot of people, that ends up, just spending days and days trying to just keep doing the same thing over and over. And, if you let yourself fall into that hole, you're going to get into just that hole and keep digging yourself deeper and deeper. And, I do that, like, it just depends. Like, the best way that I've tried and find myself doing it is when I have an express and I get a payout, I go ahead and buy another account or buy a couple more accounts and trade them with my express accounts and just try and pass them like normal. There's no rush of trying to get, accounts back. There's no rush of trying to do anything like that. So you're able to just, nonchalantly like trade or casually, or however you do it. A lot of people say trading's not casual, but we're at our desk, we're working, we're doing this shit every day. So it's what we do. So when you're doing that, and you're actually just trying to pass, some accounts on top of, trading your normal accounts, it's all, just like trading, right? It's like one account or like 5 accounts, 5, 10, 20 accounts. It doesn't really matter. You're just clicking the button once, copy trading, and going from there, or however else you trade. If you trade one account, right, it's, just the same process until you can scale up. For me personally, that's how I scaled up, is just, copy trading with Top Step is so easy. So, anyway, let's kind of show our full profits from there and then continue on with the video. Alrighty, so like I said, I'm not going to be counting December's payouts, but I'll be counting the one that we got at the first of the month, and then all the ones that we got in our first week on the YouTube series last week. So for a total of 15K, minus 3,500, right, we're going to be rounding off at For some reason, I almost said 12,500, but obviously that lands us at 11,500. And, you know, even for just the month of January, you know, that's fine. We have 2 more weeks left. We obviously have some work to put in, you know, because we have a goal we got to get to. We have to get to 100K, and I'm not going to make this series last over a couple months. Go ahead and hop into the stuff you guys really care about, the trades for the week, how the week went, and, you know, continuing from there. All right, guys, I don't want to spoil the week too much, but I mean, this is what we pretty much were doing all damn week. I mean, Ethereal here, obviously a member, he killed it. We were talking last night. We were able to catch this bottom tick at the low of London and almost just playing with NQ here. Right, we had our BPR here. We tapped into it, new 4-hour sleep, sweep of liquidity, and we entered on the low time frame. It's just absolutely beautiful here. Let's see if we can find exactly where the picture was. Right here's his entry. Absolutely beautiful, and then we can kind of see where my entry was down there. Also, take a look at my boy here. The MMFU stats are doing really good. My boy has gotten almost 3 payouts off that account, and he's just racked in his 2nd payout off the Top Step account. And of course, I cannot forget my boy Waldo. I gotta show you guys love, because you guys have absolutely just been fucking destroying it. There's Urix payout. If we scroll up here a little bit more, right, just everybody fucking banking into December and into January as well, as we see during the 14th. And I just had to show these guys love real quick before we hop into the live action of me trading, getting in trade live, kind of thinking of what I'm, you know, seeing, and going from there. You guys are killing it. Just keep that shit up. The consistency day by day. I mean, you guys are just 1% better each day, like we talk about. And it really fucking inspires me to do better, because I see you guys, I see, especially Yurt, bro. I see him, I'm like, damn, I cannot let somebody I teach outdo me. That's absolutely crazy. But let's go ahead and get into the live action. Let's, you know, see. I mean, you guys know how this shit works. You'll find me in the Wix. You'll find me in the Wix ad trade. We'll go ahead and hop into this trade we're in now. I kind of went over it with the Discord. This one I really like. It's kind of a continuation. I'm gonna wait into London to see if we can break this high, see if we reverse from the high. But I really think we're gonna continue higher. I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Alrighty, guys. So this is where we find ourselves. I really kind of like this buy model, especially the low that we've put in from FOMC, right? Where this is 6 p.m. open Wednesday. But you guys can see our INWOG that we put in. I was talking with the guys in the group, talking about how if we opened higher with an INWOG, moved it internal to, you know, move then higher to our external level, how I could then, you know, see that inside of this range. What we did not get is that INWOG higher, or INDOG higher. We got a bearish one. Am I saying we're bearish to the lows? No. Obviously, you guys know the INDOG strategy is not just a, it's not just a pattern trade. So we get our first hour of manipulation like we always talk about. I can't drop too much sauce that we talk about with the group, but that is one of those things if you are listening, right? We always look for this first hour. If we don't get some distribution, right, we get this soup in here to this fair value gap, right? You guys can kind of see that higher high made. We move internal to external, and if we get that gap higher, I could see it working, right? But instead, we get that gap down, and we get a reaccumulation. We then sweep out the low there, and then CSID continue higher. From here, once we use this INWOG and very aggressively displace past it, move this block, use this candle, this down close candle, internal to external on the side of the gap. I then found my position with my stop at this low, and we then displaced up from there. I've called all these out live in the Discord as well. You know, not just saying that to say that, but like, you know, I don't want you guys, I don't know, I try and put these in the Discord so you guys can kind of see what I'm thinking real time. So we should displace past these highs. It's getting close to midnight, so just really depending on how we react at midnight into like 1, 2 a.m. I might pull my stop to break even and then re-enter, just depending, you know, kind of around these limit orders, to be honest. I don't think we'll take out this low. You know, and if somehow we do, like, you know, like where the 4-hour BPRs forming, it should look absolutely beautiful. Alrighty, guys, so we've came in, swept that low like we talked about it. I really So it's a little bit sus. I don't like beautifully love this 1 a.m. add-in. Like I said, it's setting up perfectly for our 4-hour to come into the BPR and move into this order block, leave this breakaway gap here. So what I've done is added in, probably not like the best decision in the world, but I've pulled my stop in profit. I'm like roughly a little, like making a little bit more than what I would have. You know, so I'll partial here, you know, and let it really fall to this order block and really just kind of playing the trade out here, setting the narrative. You know, and if it falls right into the order block, you know, if we can get a good key timing, I don't know what's focusing, but if we can get a good key timing on it, you know, obviously that'd be great to just blast higher right now. But coming into one, it's just setting up a little bit sus, but if we can get some displacement from here, I like, you know, the technical CSID on the 5-minute, but I would have liked to see displacement and a close above already. So it really just depends what we'll see here. Like I said, I can see, you know, if we move higher now, but I can also see us chopping around, waiting till 2, coming in that order block here, leaving that breakaway gap, and then chasing our draw on liquidity. All right, it's like 20 minutes later. No big deal on this. This is 99% gonna get stopped in profit. No big deal. I know my technical you know, position is already in the order block, but I'm gonna take this stop in profit. And really, I usually don't do this, right? My position was all the way here, was break even there, could just let it ride. But especially with how large this range is and the breakaway gaps below, you know, we could technically see this is one and this is one. I think this is just setting up perfectly for where we're getting at. So it's, you know, this is an Asian session trade where, you know, I'm not really expecting to hit the final take profit. I'm okay with hitting this stop in profit where it's still a gargantuan RR. It's still like 7 RR to this, you know, point where we're at now. So it's no big deal to take the stop in profit, let the trade or, you know, let price breathe a little bit, let it readjust, you know, mitigate this order block, and then we'll find our reaction from there. All right, guys, so this is literally the chart we're looking at. I just wanted to bring it back. We'll go forward 1 candle here, right? And we can see this is literally the candle that we just, you know, we found ourselves inside of this distribution from the 4-hour where we opened low into this previous down closure candle and then displaced higher, leaving this fair value, I mean, clean ass BPR here. We're also right at, like we said, around 1, coming back lower, right? And then that leaves us to drive into the BPR and find the position we are here. Let's go ahead and pull that back up on the chart so you guys can see it. But yeah, right? We come in and wick into the BPR, right? Fail to close and start to deliver higher from there. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful, like we said. Right at 2:40 and then right at 2 a.m. here. We got our big displacement lower, and we can see our accumulate, manipulate, distribute low time frame into our higher time frame, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And honestly, I'm probably gonna move this take profit because I think we're just gonna blast through these highs. So let me go ahead and do that before we blast in there. I'll probably just take some partials here because, you know, like I said, we've already taken the partial. Good, you know, I've kind of been at this for a little while, so it'd be good just for me to take partials already, just in case I'm missing something. Might have been at the chart too long or something like that, but yeah. Alrighty, guys, so I keep trying to catch these in the moment, but we're like in 1 micro. Like, this shit doesn't even matter now. Blew through our highs, high here. Like we said, thought we would blow through here, so that first like full take profit was obsolete. We you know, took some partials in there, like we said we were going to, and then took our final partials at previous day high. I think I probably took like a couple micros in there, but nothing that is anything to like, you know, really, you know, jump for joy around. But yeah, as we can see, our BPR here, we get our 2 open, and we're finding ourselves literally inside of the wick. And I mean, you don't find many people that can enter there consistently. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful, right? Previous down closure candle inside of the 4-hour BPR. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. We might go for this gap fill right now. As you guys know, we've had this absolutely fucking big, monstrous black down closure candle on NQ Monday. So from Tuesday into Wednesday, I've really been looking for longs. Wednesday perfectly set up at the end of the day. So we found that continuation during Wednesday. Well, it still is Wednesday, but technically it's not Thursday. But yeah, everything should set up here. If we don't hit the gap tomorrow, we'll probably just, I mean, I'm not quite sure if we don't hit it. I might look for something at open, but we'll just see. If this hits, it hits. If not, you know, we'll look for that draw tomorrow and see how we react from today. Oh man, oh man, oh man. We called this one out in the Discord as well. This shit might just turn out beautiful. I honestly longed here, took some partials, and then, right, obviously waited for our end dog. I'll show you guys here in a second, right? This is our obvious case scenario end dog, using it for internal, and then hopefully we can move external here. This big down closure candle, obviously it's not fun looking at that. Just a little bit intimidating, but our new hourly has opened. So we have our, you know, technical hourly close right around here. So we're in the wick of our new hourly, which should push us higher pretty quickly. I don't think we will actually run these lows here. I think we'll actually end up moving higher. Like, this is roughly a good add-in area, but I'm not gonna do that. Obviously I found my good add-in, added in here, and then even added in the displacement upwards as well, taking out those highs. Didn't go break even there. Obviously, you guys see I still have risk on. I usually go high, you know, go break even once we, you know, have our displacement high, right? We're kind of, you know, moving internal here. But if you're a pattern trader, right, you're eating this up. Sweep of the high, displacement, look at that internal breaker to the low. A lot of you guys are probably screaming at me to go break even right now, fucking like equal lows below. A lot of you guys would be seeing this right here as an IOFED. But right, we're basing our trade off the higher time frame wick, the higher time frame draw on liquidity. We have previous day highs above. We have that, you know, gap fill also as well. So there is nothing inside of this low time frame structure, 30-second by the way, that is like scaring me towards wanting to close my trade. Everything that is based off the trade right now is still valid. So I'm gonna let it ride and let it breathe. Alrighty guys, so we're about to go get some food. One thing here that's pretty cool, right? The pattern traders got wrecked. Internal, no external move down here, right? Because we're basing our trade off the higher time frame wick. I'll show you guys here in a minute, the 30-minute end dog and the hourly as well, how it looks. But yeah, this trade looks pretty secure. Once we break this high one more time, I'm probably gonna go break even. You know, I have like some at break even, right? I'd let 4 cons run to the full if it does stop me break even, because I feel like I get so unlucky getting tapped break even and it running, right? And it's not even souping this low again. It's just so unfortunate. Alrighty guys, here's the chart. Came back from getting food. But let me actually show like the 5-minute or something. Right, we can see our internal to external move there. We can also see our 30-minute in log, sweeping out that previous 30-minute low, and then all inside of that hourly wick like we were talking about. And then we distributed. Right, we can also see right, how this low we put in from FOMC held, right, that 4 p.m. low. And then, you know, we talked about this. I'm not gonna like talk much about this little move here. You know, if you got stopped out trying to long in this, you know, for certain reasons, I kind of blame you. Also, you know, seeing our reaction above the key high, it's kind of just a moment where you wait. You know, so we waited in here. We get our Friday reaction, and you know, boom. Just like we talked about for Thursday, right? If this would have done this Thursday, I would have been in the trade. Or Wednesday, right? If we would have done this right here, I would have been in the trade. But see the same type of action we get, that type of Judas in the first hour, using that 6 p.m. wick, right? 6 p.m. into 7 p.m. using that wick to then push us higher. Using that wick to push us higher. Yeah, so I'm going to cover the recaps there. Obviously, I don't want to, you know, drop too much sauce because that's what the Discord's for. That's what, you know, all the people learn for. That's why, you know, the work has to get put in because, you know, you might not even understand that at first glance. You might, you know, like I was even talking about, you might see the 5-minute or lower time frame patterns of coming into a fair value gap, having that breaker, that lower low created, and you get cooked. trust me, that was me. Obviously, that's how I learned. That's how I got better, and that's how I end up like fading bearish tendencies in bullish order flow. Like obviously, you got to fade certain bearish tendencies or like even bearish looks. Right when we come up into a fair value gap, I technically think about us mitigating it. Then we come back into our internal to then blast past that area later. Certain tendencies like that I feel like help me in bullish price action, and then bearish, obviously, not the best short. I used to be so good at shorts, but we've had this bearish price action for so long, it's kind of got me in a tendency to want to long. But anyway, that's just all personal things, right? Something that I can fix. Once we get those like very obvious bearish signals, I'm not trying to long, catching a falling knife. So it just has to, be more confident on entering on that. And, on some of the obvious ones, obviously, I feel like it's kind of easy to enter. But we had one the other night where that looked really good. But just for me personally, I didn't find an obvious entry, but I could tell, I could tell the signs. I could tell, hey, I don't want to long this. And that's where my edge is. That I have some where I, do lose. I feel comfortable losing, and I know the RR just, it's like a backpack. I can just throw it on. It's like, it's not really that big of a deal about losing. But yeah, ending this week off, no payouts. You guys see how much we're up. Going into next week, we've got, a couple accounts, obviously. So we'll just see where we get. Not really putting any pressure on the week to get, payouts, not any pressure on the month, because technically we're looking good for January. I've spent a little bit more on some evals trying to get, some extra evals ready for when I obviously, I'm going to risk extra on the accounts after, like I just can't trade an account normal for like 2-3 weeks, like one mini on a 50K. It's kind of low risk. I'll build my buffer and trade it that way, but also risking like 3 minis on 4 accounts, like that's not the most risk in the world. Like obviously I love the 150Ks, but it's something I can handle. So anyway, I'll be stacking counts, stacking bread. You guys saw the trades for this week. Everything, like I said, always recapped in the Discord. I feel like we had an amazing week inside the Discord. I feel like lots of members learned, and even if nobody learned, like, well, not even if nobody learned, everybody learned something this week, even me. Getting 1% better, always journaling, always doing the things that I talk about, practicing what I preach. And I hope you guys learn a little bit from whether it's me getting my ass whooped, taking a loss, or something like that. But yeah, also know, if you're wondering, I really didn't trade the beginning of the week. Like I said, we had that massive ass down closure candle when I was expecting bullish price action. So yeah, I'm wrong, but I knew not to pull that trigger. So yeah, stayed safe the beginning of the week. Finally got some, signs that we could move higher. Find some, some key levels that we could trust into, some bullish structure that we were able to long from. So pretty good into the week. We'll be going into next week, hopefully looking at some secure some payouts, make more money. As always, we'll keep the total, keep everything tallied up, and I'll see you guys then. Have a great week.